The other part that I mentioned here briefly about all of the conversations that you inadvertently just have to be a part of because there's no getting away from it. I mean, you have like 48 cells that are on the entire tier, so 24 on the top, 24 on the bottom. And the unit that I was in at this point was all single cells. So that means one person per cell. And there are people that are just in there yelling out their door. They're talking about whatever, sometimes good, sometimes not good, a lot of times not good. And you heard me reference in there some of the things that were just starting to drive me crazy. I mean, we're coming up on Christmas. You have that longing to be peaceful and happy and home and all of that stuff. And now you're in a situation where you can't escape all of this negativity, all of this craziness. And it's, literally just trying to pull your hair out of your head. I had a guy that was 2 doors down from me that was a child molester, and he hadn't been out of his cell in probably 15 plus years from what I heard from some other people. And he would talk incessantly, I mean, for hours on end about the things that he did to children while he was out on the streets. It made it very hard to love. I'll just say that. It made it very hard to think anything good of that person. I came to a place in that cell where I had so much anger, so much, I just wanted to wrap my hands around that guy's throat and make him stop because that's the last thing you want to hear. I don't care who you are. I remember I had to look into the mirror one time and, these mirrors that they have inside of your prison cell, they're like a brushed aluminum. You get kind of a reflection of yourself. It's not really a glass type mirror that we have here on the streets. And I'm sitting there looking in the mirror and I'm hearing this guy talk. This is, mid-afternoon. And I'm hearing this guy talk about all the crimes that he did against children in such a way that it was just disgusting having to hear. And not just for minutes. I mean, we're talking hours and hours and hours this would go on. And I remember just sitting there looking in my mirror, standing at my toilet, and I've got all of this anger and hate inside of me. And I just felt God say to me, he's my child too. And you don't have to put more fuel on the fire. So figure it out, but don't allow him in the place that he's at in life to dictate your place in life and the things that you need to do. So I looked at it now more from a lens of, I'm not sure what happened to this guy. I'm not sure why he's doing the things that he's doing, why he's saying the things that he's saying, but I felt bad for him at that point because I knew that that's not what he had probably wanted with his life. And here he is just miserable. He has to be miserable. There's no way that you can be at peace in your life thinking about and talking about and doing the things that he was doing while we were in solitary confinement. So the lesson that I took from that was really, I don't have to engage, support, or anything. If somebody's on some crazy train trying to pull people down with them, I don't have to board that train today. I don't have to get on that train and allow him to take me in some place that I don't want to go. So I just removed myself from that. I'm not condoning his actions by any means. Please don't misinterpret that. But I'm also saying me sitting in that cell and being consumed by anger and hate and not having anywhere to go with those feelings wasn't productive for me to sit there and continue to do that. You have to learn to let some things go. And that was a place for me in the hole where I just had to let that go. And I had to recognize I can't change what he's doing in that cell there. So I'm not going to allow his craziness to dictate what's going on in my cell. And that's one way you learn to control your environment while you're in solitary confinement.